So can you see me or hear me, or please leave some feedback? Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if I'm talking to myself or. Okay, thanks for Jason Addison. Thanks for your comment. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen, and please let me just record everything. I don't know if I can record this. Well, whatever. So make sure everything is recording. I'm going to use QuickTime. Screen recording. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me introduce myself. My name is David Garcia. Screen share. Invite a screen. And well, I work here in Fotocasa. Fotocasa is one of the major real estate companies in Spain. Schibsted has many other websites, but I'm working as a front-end developer here in Fotocasa. And when I first came here a couple of years ago, there was any kind of front-end architecture at all. It was everything was a big, huge monolithic application built in entirely using C#. So if you're a front-end developer and you need to add something, you really need to deal with a lot of C# files, and it was really difficult to add the only well-organized thing was the SAS file. So we decided that we want to implement some improvements in the website, like let's say responsive and things like that. What you're seeing right now is the homepage is fully made in React, so it's decoupled. Currently this website is consuming an API and getting data from this API, and then rendering everything using React. Let me show you the source code. If you see the elements here, well, I don't know. Well, as you can see, what we have here is a lot of nest components. There is one main application and a wrapper, and then we have a home page. And inside there, we have all the components. But let me show you. Basically, this is the main reason why we decide to decouple the front-end architecture, to build a lot faster and using our own technology that all the front-ends knows, like JS, HTML, and SAS. So we decided that the approach was in order to build something customized just for Fotocasa, we tried to find a solution that could be applied to any site of Schibsted. So instead of just making something ad hoc and end up having the same thing, the same couple solution, we decide to make something open source. So we decide to create an open source repository in GitHub, and we call it SUI components. It stands for Schibsted User Interface Components. So all these components are open source, so you can That means that you can contribute to them, you can improve them, and just have a look, and whatever you may need, you can start using it right now. And in addition, we were creating, every component has its own repository and has a README, some kind of documentation. And also we have a demo page. So if you go here, you can just test your component. Let's say JavaScript, or have this name. Okay. So what else? I don't know if you have any questions so far. We can use a Slack. Why? I don't know if any of you is having some issues. Is everyone following? Okay, so let's move on. Well, so every component we were we find that we were doing the same task over and over. So we decided to start building some tools like this generator. Um, this generator is a Geoman generator that builds all the development environment that we need to develop just one component. So let me show you how it works. If I go to my repository, and let's say I build, I don't know, my component. I go inside this, my component, and then just hit Yo. And as you can see here, this first option is the Schibsted Spain to React component. It's just a wizard where you can introduce here, you can put here the name of your project, and you can also add some prefix here, and then you can add your URL for GitHub and copy all the files and start doing an npm install. After the npm install is finished, what you got is an autonomous component. Is based on, this component is going to be built with Webpack. Also, you have Babel for JavaScript transpiling, so you can start using ECMAScript 2015 right now. Also, we have a set of linting rules for Sass, JavaScript, and React also, in order to, because we really need to have clean code and everyone using the same conventions. In addition, we have a Sass preprocessor using Node Sass. We start using the gem SCSS Sass file in the beginning, preprocessor, I mean. Well, currently we are moving to Node Sass because we don't want to have any Ruby dependency. Well, this is taking a while. Okay, don't worry because the Hangout is public, because I'm not going to say anything that is just for Schibsted. I'm not going to tell anything related to the business, like that. Yeah, I tried the npm set progress false, but To be honest, I don't have a lot of improvements. It may take a few seconds less, but thanks for pointing out, Sven. I don't know what is this. I haven't tried yet, Robert, but I'll have a look. Sure. Well, in the meantime, let me show you a little bit about these components. As you can see, we have an open source list of components, and let me show you, say that what is a card for us. This card is basically a React component that has a custom class and also has primary and secondary placeholders where you can put inside whatever you might need. In this case, we can use an image with a link, and here just a wrapper div with a heading and a paragraph. In addition, we have a props that if you have a prop, it's called landscape layout. The layout of the card changes from portrait to landscape. And this is the model that we can use. And here you got a lot of information about how to run testing and linting, etc. And here, as always, we have the demo page. The demo page, we try to have a very brief description and rendering implementation of the component. And also we have some code just to see how you can use it, and some links to the GitHub web page. And also everything all these components are also published here in NPM. We have a namespace here because Schibsted Spain has a private repository. Some of them are public, like this one. Everything that has this namespace as a prefix, the SUI, are open source, so you can use it right away. The other ones are private. Everything that has business logic from real estate is public. It's private. Sorry. Okay, let's see if okay, my component is installed finally. So in order to execute, we can just type npm run dev. Oops, I got some error here. Sorry about that. There was another. You can only have one version of Webpack running at the same time. That's why it was failing. I don't know how many of you is already working with React using Webpack and things like that. I would like to get some feedback here in Slack. So please let me know. Also, if you have any questions, please let me know. Well, here is my component. When you see this congratulations screen, is that everything is up and running. As you can see here, we are using Webpack as a bundler. In addition, we have mockup for unit testing, and also we have a set of recommend rules, as I told you before. Let me show you these recommend rules because we've been working a lot. We have here this repository. It's also open source, so you can use it. And basically what we do is to link Sass, JavaScript, and React.js. We have a lot of rules that we think that we want to have consistency with all the code that we're doing. Feel free to have a look. Okay, so this is our component. Let me show you a little bit how it works. The name of the is my component test. So I'm going to go inside my component test. Okay, first of all, let me show you the package.json file. Here, I don't know if you're used to work with Node, but what we have here is basically it's a JSON file with all the meta information for this component. Here we have the name, the version, the entry point of the application, and here there are some predefined scripts. All these scripts has been defined using our generate or React component. As you can see, there are some tasks for clean the distribution directory, and you can compile just JavaScript files using Babel or just using no Sass. Only the Sass files using no Sass. And well, in addition, you can lint on test and whatever. And one interesting feature that we have implemented already is the build doc page. As you can see, every component has its own demo page. Let me close here. Every component has a demo page. It's running in GitHub IO, and this demo web page is built automatically by executing this npm script. Okay, it's here. So if you want to build your component, all you have to do is to set your GitHub directory. It's not set here as you can see, but then only running this npm run doc, it will be executed using this script. Here we have all the dependencies. We have a React as a peer dependency. That means that this component doesn't have React as a dependency, as a direct dependency for production. It only has React as a dependency for development. And the reason why is because using peer dependencies, you expect that the higher order component is having this dependency. So you don't duplicate versions and things like that. And also we have our, as I told you before, we are using this namespace because we are publishing everything inside our private npm repository. So we access our own components like this. Let me show you how it works. If I go here, this is my component, and then I go here, and change. Well, let me tell you something about the structure. As you can see here, we have an index. All it's doing is exposing the component name, and is importing at the same time from here. So if I go here, the reason why we're doing this is because we may have lots of subcomponents here. So this is the, the component, the structure is only having this. Let's say hi and all. Usually it goes a lot faster, but I don't know. Probably it's because I'm recording and doing the Hangout at the same time. But as you can see, it's very fast, and the developer experience is really nice because we we can change color here, and everything is built on the fly, which is quite good. And in addition, let's say that I have a linter. Let me see, because I think it's not running right now. Like it is. Okay, let's see what happens if I, instead of having a color here, I just try to add the color like this. I don't think it's working right now. The linter. Let me just check. Yes, I don't think no SAS. SAS. It's not enabled. Now it should work. Oh. Okay, it's not working. Oh, now you have any warnings? So you see the warnings? Because I don't. At least I'm not linting warnings. Okay. No color literals. But what I mean is that usually I have a box here displaying what kind of error I have, so I don't really have to go there. But as you can see, this no color literal is a rule that is set here in SASLint. No color, no color literals. As you can see, what we have is number one is saying that it's just a warning. If I change it to 2, it will be an error. So let me show you how it works. If I go to the console here and say npm run lint .sas, what I have is an imported partial that doesn't like the extension, and also the color variable like EE0 is just telling me that we can use it that format. So in order to, if I try to save these changes, and let's say that, well, I don't have the repository, but whatever. If I try to commit these changes, the linter, the pre-commit hook won't allow me to do that if I don't use it. Okay. So in order to fix it, all I have to do is get rid of this extension. And also leave this color to here. Now if I run the linking again, I don't have any issue right now. So also what we have is a testing suite with Mocha. So if I run npm test, I have this report because I already have built uh, this testing files. Let me show you here. What we have is default test. It's loading the shallow renderer, so we don't really need to use a browser. We can report it right to the console. And what we have is just a test that is testing that the card exists. So, and also, if you need to pass props to this component test suite, you can use the shallow renderer, separating by comma inside this object. You can pass the props inside just to test this if this is working or not. But as I told you, it's just a test. It's a default test that comes with the Geoman generator. So, and also we have a watch task. So if I write npm run test colon watch, we can work in testing mode. As you can see here, I don't see the prompt, so whatever I do in my component, if I say, I don't know, if I break this something here, the watching task is reporting all the time, which is quite useful if you want to work using TDD, test-driven development. Okay, I don't know if you have any questions so far. I don't know if you are used to work with NPM or React. Any question? No? Still there? Okay, so the next thing that I would like to point out is that we have these open source components, but the business rules are not here. What we have is a private repository. It's called SCM Spain. As you can see here, this is a private component that has all the. Oh, hey, now I see. I'm sorry because I wasn't. I didn't realize that you were asking something. Can I install with sharing data across components? If you mean that if we're using plugs or things like that, or VDAX, or we're not. What we have is component this called real estate that is a domain where we can define all the use cases that are common to all the components. Let me show you a little bit how it works. If I go to a private component, as I was showing here, this private component is customized for real estate business rules or business logic. So what we're doing here is wrapping the Swift React, the open source card. This is just a card, but it's customized to have all the business rules from real estate. And what we do here is, as you can see, to import this component is inside the domain of the namespace of Schibsted Spain, and it's called real estate. Here in this domain is where we have all the logic. What we do is, let's say, well, we have to, we need to use internationalization of this component. So we have a use case. It's called languages I18N use case, and we call this a method from this component. So we can use this culture. We can set this culture to this component, and if we run it, we'll get this internationalization. I don't know if this is asking, is answering your question, Andreas. Okay, so let's move on. Question 2, are components included at build time, or do you also have some dynamic moving of the components? Well, what we have is every component. Let me show you here, because I think it's quite easy to see. If when we have a dependency of a component, what we use is an import. So everything is published in npm and has a versioning. So let me show you the package JSON. In order to run this component, this is a real estate card. We need to have this dependency of the real estate where we can store all the business logic from real estate. And also we have this component is for internationalization. And of course, what we're doing is wrapping this generic card. And also we have some other components like this one for labeling. This is another component for multimedia, like, I don't know, displaying pictures and things like that. And in addition, we have another component that is has a lot of SAS variables. And also, everything else is just development dependencies. So this is why this is how we connect everything, how we put everything together. As you can see, we are using semantic versioning, and we are not using like this because we want to have all the bug fixes implemented automatically. Every time you just run an npm install. That's how we connect everything. And in the implementation, if I go, let's say, inside the primary, all you have to do is just to import the component, and then you can use it right away here in the render method. Yes, we have Webpack bundling everything. So if I want to, let me just take this. If I want to run this component, I have to use a node environment variable, so I can set it to development and then run npm run dev. Oops, I still having some other running. Sorry about that. Try again. What I do here is telling Webpack that I want to run this script, npm run dev, using this node environment variable set to development. So when I run it, I get this card. And this is a real estate card. It's the rubber using having things like this add to files button, this logo from the merchant, and these labels for business logic. And also, if it has internationalization, so if I go here and I say, and I set the culture to say NT, I should have this card automatically translated. Sorry. This is pretty cool. I think I have already answered your third question about dependency upgrades and things like that. What we do is just to set which level of dependency we need. So if we are just adding some bug fix, what we do is just to leave the last number free. So every time you just set npm update, you're going to download from npm the last version, this bug fix. And if you really need to upgrade your component to a greater version because you have added some new feature or you're breaking the API contract, what we do is just to upgrade a major version. Using semantic versioning is really helpful for that kind of stuff because then we have a front-end server that is just it's an application built in Node that has all the dependencies. That what we do there is to set which components we need in every moment. I don't know what you mean with complicated code. Mm, because what we're doing is just we have a docs page where you can see the components running, but in the dist repository, what we have is everything bundled. Yes, that's true. Let me show you here. If I go to webpack config, what I have here is this settings. Is what we have is a webpack dev server opening a web server in this port, and well, we have loaders for each kind of documents. We have the React loader and the Babel loader, so we can use Babel. And in addition, we set this variable node variable here, so we can tell the domain everything that has any domain implication. We set this variable to because later in this domain we have a config file where we said, listen, this the status of this variable. If it's in development, run this, and if it's in production, run these other things. So you can have multiple endpoints, and even you can have different literals for different repositories, etc. Oops. Let me show you. Say one, two, three, four components. Yes, we have. Yes, we've been talking a lot about having just one big repo with all the components, but because we already have this situation, and we end up having a big monolithic structure and architecture based on C#. We don't want to repeat the same thing. We don't want to end up with a big monolithic repo with full of components that are. It's a lot easier because you don't really have to publish everything in npm. But in the other hand, what we have is too much freedom to to add features, or I think it's a lot is maybe more easier to maintain one side, but I think you open the door for for hell. It's a tough decision to have this kind of architecture, because there is not just one approach that is going to be the right one. You can have multiple right approaches. It depends on how do you implement it. Let me show you the homepage. Yeah, sure, Andrew. I will be glad to share our experience with all different approaches. Um, Let me tell you something. We when we first started working with React, what we did is was kind of a proof of concept, and it was just a full page with all the components and everything there, using Webpack. Pretty much the same approach, but rather than using a different repo for every one for each component, we decided to put everything together. And it's true that it was a lot faster and easier to deploy. But in addition, I think it's not going to be useful. It's going to be coupled just for Fotocasa. So here in Spain, in San Cugat, we are 4 companies. We are Fotocasa, we are Coches.net, InfoJobs, and Vivo. And what we would like to do is to create a front-end architecture that is going to be useful for everyone. So you don't have to solve the same problem over and over again. And if you have these small pieces like bricks, you can build whatever you need. So you are not tied to any composition. Otherwise, everyone, let's say that you are working in a solution in, I don't know, in Norway or whatever, or London, and if all together, if we did define what is a car, you can use our card and then wrap it and customize as you may need. And of course, you will have to apply your own business rules and things like that. But issues like internationalization or I don't know, the front end layer implementation is going to be the same for everyone. Yes, because I think we are having the same problems, and we are using quite similar approaches to fix that problems. But I think we can get profit of being such a huge company, a global company. Okay, let me show you how this component is built. This is the homepage, Fotocasa homepage. As you can see here, all we have is a lot of list of dependencies of other components. Let's say we have a feed for the API, we have a toolbar, a footer, we have a section. It's called App Downloader because there is a form to download the Fotocasa app. Also, we have a blog feeds and we have an inspirational section, and everything is set here just as a npm dependency. And then, well, we have the context here. We pass prototypes, and in the constructor, we only have this internationalization, and also there's some states. And the render mode, what we have is the top bar, the search, and then we decide if we have to show the feeds or this other section, depending on if it's the first time the user is getting the website. If it's the first time, you will see an inspirationalist kind of a composition of cards showing different parts of the website. Otherwise, if we return the local storage this variable, what we do is to show you directly the feeds of your last search. And then you have another section here, another section, and then you close. This is really, really nice because this is the way we build a full page. Oh, let me see, Jason. Okay. Okay, that's true, Jason. We also have moved to Babel 6. Let me show you. As you can see here, I don't know, let me make this a little bit bigger. We're working with Babel 6, and it's very important. We used to have problems when we were working in development mode because sometimes you are working with one component, but you need to import another one, and you don't want to publish everything that you're doing to npm. And so what you do is npm link the component, and sometimes if the Babel version is different, you end up running to twice this transpiling. So it breaks. It's an issue, but well, we sort it out. You can define uh, using semantic versioning in each component. So you have to make sure that everything is using major versions. Yeah, I also agree with your last statement that having a monorepo is a good thing. I'm sure of that. We've been considering moving to a monorepo for a long time. We are not there yet. I don't know if it's better than we have, or we'll may having some issues as we're having right now. What we have is probably a little bit harder because there are a lot of dependencies and different versions, and you really need to be careful in order to make to upgrade or add features to one component because it's going to affect some others. But well, so far we are working where our experience is quite good. And it's a lot better than we had previously. Well, I don't know if you have any questions. So far, I think I have make a brief overview of our architecture. I would like to know to have some feedback, just to know if you have questions about something. See this one. Oh, okay. Currently, we are using this set of components in Photocasa, and there is another one. Is the professional. I don't know how to say. It's like an application for professional publishers. It's starting to use these components. What we're doing is they are working with the Suite components. It's the open source repository, and they are wrapping the custom approaches to all of them. But the main thing, the main concept that we need to take into account is that if there is a component to do one task, try to reuse it as much as you can. Otherwise, it's pointless. Okay, about the server rendering, what we have is we are using. We need to be isomorphic, so we are using transmit or do all the isomorphism. But this is only the first time. Then when the user gets the page, everything is running in the client. About data fetching.
Bueno, pues usuario debería transmitir todo en el servidor.
Transmit. Yes, we are using transmit for data fetching. And we have an application built in Node using Express, of course. Coa.
Express.
Carlos Vivenda is my partner. Is here giving me some support. I don't know the difference between Coa and Express, but
Está basado, Coa está basado en generadores, mientras que Express no. Se supone que optimiza las llamadas de sync. Pero nosotros no lo utilizamos porque realmente solo tenemos una llamada.
Okay. My partner Carlos says that the main difference between Coa and Express is that Coa is able to to make a lot of it's able to handle a lot of asynchronous calls. But currently we are using just one, so it's good enough for us. But of course, depending on how your needs, you may use the one you like. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and uh, I hope you like this hangout, and I really would like to have a lot of this kind of initiatives from you as well, to let us know what's your approach, and well, hope to see you soon, all here in Slack at least. And of course, we are here in Barcelona, in San Cugat. So if any of you wants to come to visit us, of course, we'll be glad to meet here. Summer is really nice. We have a beach, by the way, especially for all these London guys. Okay, thanks you all. I think I'm closing right now the hangout. Okay. Okay, bye.